morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's your girl Chuck Tay, and I am here with your RETV Sports Break. You can catch me here every Thursday, talking junk, spitting facts. Let's get started. So we're going to start off with some baseball today, folks. So there seems to be some sort of cheating adjacent scandal that is brewing between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays. So let me just run down what happened. On Monday, Kevin Kammeyer, I've heard his name said 3 different ways today, so we're just going to go with that. Kevin Kammeyer, sliding into home, comes across like a folded up little sheet of paper. His version of events says he saw the paper, he picked it up. He didn't really know what it was. He glanced at it enough to see that there were words on it, but he didn't know exactly what it was. So he takes it back to his dugout and he gives it to somebody in the dugout. What they're saying actually was the case is that slip of paper falls out of Alejandro Kirk, who is the catcher for the Blue Jays. It falls out of his pocket sometime during the play, and that Kevin, we're just going to call him Kevin, picks it up and maliciously takes it over, and it was a scouting report. So, of course, Kevin comes back on Wednesday and says, that's not what happened. You guys are making this a way bigger deal than it needs to be. I didn't know what it was. But then he turns around and says, once I found out what it was and that it didn't belong to us, I wasn't going out of my way to return it. Now, do I understand not going out of my way? Kind of. But because baseball is not without their cheating scandals, I probably just wouldn't have said anything, Kev. Because what that sounds like to me, at least, and you guys, make of it what you will, it sounds like maybe you didn't know what it was at first, but you figured out pretty quickly what it was, and gave it to somebody so that they could see what it was. I would have just thrown it out. Just throw it back on the ground. Something. The answer was not to come out and say, well, I'm not going out of my way to return it to them. You kept it. If it is in fact a scouting report, like the reports are saying, that sounds bad. It's like, I wasn't reading his lips. I just saw what his lips said. What? Okay. So again, it seems to be cheating adjacent. The Rays organization has come out and some sort of makeshift apology to the Blue Jays. Details to follow to see how much more we're going to have to follow up on this. But again, because Major League Baseball and Minor League Baseball are not completely without scandal, I don't know that this just goes away. So, again, details to follow. Moving on. You guys, am I the only person that feels like basketball season just ended? Or am I also the only person that doesn't understand how it's almost October? I'm just okay. Anyway, October is coming, and so is basketball season. So do you guys remember Ben Simmons? Yeah, of course. You remember him, right? Because he was under the basket and didn't shoot the basket. He passed it. Remember that? After that happened, there's been a lot of speculation about what is or is not going to happen with Mr. Simmons. I'm not going to say that the 76ers has run out of their way to say that they want to have him. They want him to be there. They think he's a great player. You get that here and there, right? But it's kind of like, you asked me and I'm being politically correct about it, except for that time that somebody asked Doc Rivers straight out, what was Ben's future in the organization? And he was like, I don't know how to answer that. So it wasn't looking super good for Mr. Simmons. Now let's go back to after said passing gate incident to where Ben says that he would like to be traded. There's a couple things wrong with that. The first thing is that he still has 4 years left on his contract. The second thing is that the 76ers are willing to trade him, but they want to trade him and receive something that is basically equal to or more of what they value him at. Now, no one is saying out loud what they value him at, but considering he has 4 years left on his contract, I'm thinking they want some stuff. But like, what stuff are you gonna get for a player who has we've just seen him decline since entering the league? First of all, I was done with Ben Simmons. What was that, like 2 years ago, when they were like, he can't shoot? Like, what? The game you play involves shooting, and then you went under the basket, and then I saw a TikTok a couple weeks ago, and it was basically this clip of LeBron shooting in some weird Chinese New Year moving basket with a Nerf size basketball. It was weird, but he makes it. So it's like, how can LeBron make this? And then you go to the next clip, and it's Ben Simmons with a basketball that's this big and a hoop that's equally this big in the middle of Times Square, and he missed. Okay. So I was done with Ben Simmons a long time ago. Another problem that we have here is Ben has said that he's not going to report to training, practices. He plans on not playing another minute with the 76ers. And I say to that, dear Ben, who do you think you are, Aaron Rodgers? What? You, Benjamin, do not get to have such an attitude when you stood underneath the basket and passed the ball. You don't get to be upset that other people are upset with you, because we've seen you decline over the years. I don't understand, Benjamin. Again, you're not Aaron Rodgers. You don't get to be so prima donna like that. You're like, I'm not gonna report to training camp. Who are you? Who are you? Please. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm gonna say the same thing that I said about what's his name? James Harden and Kyrie Irving and them not coming to practice in games for whatever reason. And Ben Simmons, you're not even James Harden, Kyrie caliber player at this point. And it was still not okay for them to be like, I'm not, and I want to be traded, so I'm not gonna. No. The earth is flat, so I'm not coming to practice. No. You're not. They don't get under the basket and pass the ball. They can shoot. Now, James Harden don't play no defense, but can't win them all, I guess. I don't understand. And I'm very interested to see how that transpires, because again, we're not talking about it. It's a no for me. These athletes as a whole really are starting to get out of pocket. You're just starting to get out of pocket. And I don't understand why these grown men can't seem to just act like grown men. Also, this is your job. It's your job. Do you know what happens if I'm just I'm not going to work another minute for this company because they've pissed me off, even though I did something to them, technically? Do you know what happens to me? I lose my job. It's just really quite that simple. I don't work there anymore. If I say I'm not going to work another minute, please. So we have less than 4 weeks until basketball season tips off. We'll see where Sir Benjamin ends up in the interim. Last but not least, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, he had a lot to say about all the people that had so much to say about him and all of his off-season activities. So again, in case you live under a rock or you get all your news from me and I took a break, for a couple weeks, Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packers, they pissed him off so bad that he was like, yeah, I'm not coming to training camp. I'm going to go do whatever with my fiance and Miles Teller. And is that his name? Miles Teller? I think he's an actor. I think that's his name. And I'm going to go play golf with Tom Brady and some like charity thing. And, you know, like I'm good. I'm good. I'm zen. I'm here. You know, I'm just not going to do it. And then they lost week 1. I mean, they got destroyed by the Saints in week 1. He threw 2 interceptions. So, of course, the critics just piling it on even more. Maybe if he would have come to training camp, maybe if he would have come to practice, maybe if he wasn't out with his woman and playing golf and, you know, being petty on Al Gore's internet, then, you know, they wouldn't have lost week 1. Then they turn around and they win in week 2. Now, they beat the Lions. I'm not really sure how much that's saying. To be completely honest, that's my opinion. It's the hill that I'm going to die on. You beat the Lions. And really, you didn't, like, destroy them. You beat them 35-17. It's a pretty decent score, right? But you didn't destroy them, okay? But, you know, 255 yards, 4 touchdowns. So then he came back and was like, now what? Now what? What you got to say? I took a break. I was in. You know, I'm not going to tell y'all what I was doing. It's none of y'all business. Y'all got so much to say about me. Blah, blah, blah. He's giving me real, like, I'm tired of y'all shit. And I'm here for it because, like, leave him alone, right? We let, you know, all these other athletes have mental health breaks, which, yes, mental health break. Do it. So I feel like he's entitled to one. And also they pissed him off. Like there's a lot going on here, but he's Aaron freaking Rodgers, right? So it's a lot of scrutiny. And I think depending on how the rest of this season goes, right? We're gonna see more of this from Aaron Rodgers because first, again, y'all have pissed him off. The organization, he ain't happy with them, but he shows up for work, Ben Simmons, and he does his job. Is he going to win them all? No. Nobody's going to win them all. Even Tom Brady doesn't win them all, okay? Like, he's not going to win them all. The Saints, not a scrub team. The Lions, if you would have lost to the Lions, I think we would be having a much different conversation. Like, we expected you to win that game at the very least. But we're gonna see more of this. He was basically like, he was just cussing up a storm, just dropping S words, shit, left and right and left and front to back and end zone to end zone, shit. Y'all should probably just leave that man alone. Just leave him alone. You know, be happy that he came back because I don't know that Aaron Rodgers is actually hurting for money right now. You know, he's a little on the older side. He could have been like, you know, I'm just quite finished here and figure it out. Jordan, take over. He could have just done that and y'all would have been A-okay. So we're going to continue to see Sir Aaron and what he is doing as the season progresses. And that's really it for me this week, guys. But I said that this season I was going to end on a nice note or a moment of zen or something that's not going to get me sued. We'll figure out what to call it. And I just thought that it was very interesting, or it warmed my heart to see that in 1969, September, Say Hey, Willie May became the second Major League Baseball player to hit 600 home runs. So, you know, Willie Mays, black baseball player, Negro baseball player, whatever the politically correct term is and was. At the time, very interesting. Who was the first? The Great Bambino. So just, there's your little moment of positivity. I don't know. Tell me what you guys want me to call that little segment. I don't think I can call it Moment of Zen because I don't need Trevor Noah and his people coming after me. But, you know, just let me know what, you give me suggestions and we'll see what we can do. Otherwise, that's it for me this week, guys. You can catch me here every Thursday, talking junk, spit facts. See you later.